Think about it, right? The What is the liberty of the new covenant? Well, Christ is supposed to bring us salvation, and Christ is what the mediator of the new covenant, right? And also, he's called the messenger of the new covenant. So, if Christ is the messenger of the covenant, aren't we waiting to get the message from Christ?
What are you referring to? You talking about the gospel? What do you mean?
I mean, like, in order for the new covenant to be established and for someone to be in the new covenant, isn't the Lord going to be the one that speak to them and to pour out his spirit? Because the
Yes,
words that he
and this
speaks
is
is
what he's
spirit.
going to say. Matthew 10, verse 5. This is what he said.
Matthew chapter 10 and verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
And this is the message he told them. Read on.
And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
The kingdom of heaven is instituted when 144,000 men come to the understanding that they are the Israelites. 144,000 men must be sealed with the knowledge that Christ is King of Kings. We must repent in his name, and then the kingdom of heaven will be established. That's the message that Christ gave before he died. And that's what we teach. He said, go and find the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He didn't say nothing else but to do that. I mute my
Okay,
mic.
so no disrespect. That means that you're not the messenger of the covenant. Yeah.
I'm spreading the message. Am I the messenger of the covenant? No. Okay, this is the instructions Christ said. Read it for him again. No disrespect, but read it again and pay attention. Read it.
These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying,
He gave a
go,
command, a order. Read on.
go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
And tell him
And
what?
and as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
That's what Christ said to go and say when he started his ministry. What you said, he didn't say nothing to go and tell anybody about a covenant. Okay, you're making things up. Unless you could give me
No,
book,
no,
chapter,
no,
and verse, you're making things up.
no. I agree that he didn't tell. I agree he didn't tell nobody that. That's why. Nobody on earth, if you're not Christ, you can't bring nobody into the new covenant, right?
That's the only person that can is Christ through his blood. That's the only way.
Through his
Now,
blood.
let's read it. I'm going to give you book, chapter, and verse because a lot of people keep coming in the room and they're saying nothing and they're not giving me no scriptures. And I don't move that way. I need scriptures. Matthew chapter 26, verse 26. Read it, please.
So you gotta drink his blood. That's what you're saying. Like eat
Matthew
my flesh.
chapter
Matthew 20. I
26,
didn't say
verse
that. Matthew 26, 26. Read it, please.
Matthew 26, 26. And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament.
That's what Christ said out of his mouth. I'm not making things up. I'm showing you what Christ said. That his blood being spilled, him dying on the cross, symbolizes us coming into the New Testament. Because under the Old Testament, we would sacrifice animals with the priest. Animal sacrifice for remission of sin is over. Christ's blood being spilled when he died on the cross is how we come into the New Testament. Read it for him again.
And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament,
For what? Read on.
which is shed for the remission of sins.
So his blood now replaced the blood of animals for remission of sin. That's why we have to teach against animal sacrifice. Pharisees were over the priesthood and they wanted the people to come to them for remission of sin. But when Christ died and his blood was spilled, he said, what? Read it for him one more time. No disrespect. One more time.
For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins.
So now we get remission of sin with a New Testament with Christ's blood. I mute my mic.
All right, so okay, I love that verse. Now let me ask you a question. Now, no disrespect. When did you drink the blood? Because they're drinking a cup of blood.
He did not say to drink blood. The drink was symbolic to his blood. This is him at the Last Supper before he died. Okay? And when he died, he said this blood symbolizes, just like the bread symbolizes his body. He didn't give nobody blood to drink. That's against the laws of God to drink blood. Christ spoke in allegory, parables, and hyperbole. Reader, look up what a hyperbole is for him. Hyperbole.
Yes, sir. This is the definition of hyperbole: exaggerated statements or
So the blood
claims.
was an exaggerated statement. And just like he said, if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out. If thy right hand offend thee, chop it off. He didn't mean pluck your eye out and chop your hand off. It was a hyperbole. It was an exaggerated statement. Read it one more time for him. No disrespect. Read it one more time.
Exaggerated statements or claims, not meant to be taken literally.
You're taking it literal because you don't understand the Bible. No disrespect. You don't understand the Bible. It was not made to be taken literal. So I mute my mic.
Okay, so I believe the Bible is allegory, but I'm just saying, going off your doctrine, you made the blood literal. Now you're making it not literal. You see what I'm saying?
What are you talking about? He never said it was literal. What are you
He
talking
said
about?
he said it was talking about the blood that was shed after Christ died.
No, but you have to keep it in context of what you just said. You said drink literal blood. He had to break it down to you because you're carnal. You understand?
I
And it's
said,
no offense to
no,
you. Hey,
I was,
one
no, I
second.
ain't say you
Let
have
me
to
first.
drink literal blood.
You did say that in the
No,
beginning. Give me First
I
Corinthians
said,
chapter.
no,
Give me
since he
First
made the
Corinthians
blood,
chapter 3 and verse 2 first and foremost. I
I'm trying to
got you.
help you understand though, like, since he made the blood literal by saying it's the blood after Christ died, I was saying, so you got to drink literal blood?
That's what I just said. I didn't
That's
misquote
a
you.
question. You say that I said drink literal blood. No,
You can okay, gotcha. All right. So let's just say you didn't say, oh, you didn't have to drink literal blood. Why did he have to go that way? Is because that's what you said. We already know we don't have to drink literal blood, but all praise A1 broke it down for you. But give me this right quick.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2.
Go ahead.
I have fed you with milk and not with meat.
He said he goes into the basics and not into the super hard sayings, the dark sayings. The thing that you even asking about right now in John chapter 6, many disciples couldn't understand this dark saying and decided to leave Christ. When you read John chapter 6, I don't know if you're an avid reader, but if you read it, read it. They couldn't understand that dark saying or that hyperbole as A1 brought out. Go ahead.
so
For
y'all should use the
Hold
word
on, hold on a
ye
allegory.
second.
were
Let
not
me
able
hold on a
to
second.
bear it.
Read that again.
For hitherto ye were not able to bear it,
For here you weren't able to bear the meat, the dark sayings, the hyperboles. Go ahead.
neither yet now are ye able.
Neither to this day are our people unable to understand the dark sayings. You understand? That's why when you come on, when most of the people come on here, we try to feed them on milk. We try to answer the questions. Whether you understand it or not, that's for the Lord to give that understanding. But then when I say the Lord to give it, for him to allow you to receive it. But we're going to give it to you as it is written. Either way. Come on.
For ye are yet carnal.
For our people are carnal. They understand more worldly lyrics. They understand more worldly sayings than they understand the scriptures that came from God Himself. And we see it. We see it every single night. Our people are carnal. Read that one more time.
For ye are yet carnal.
Come on.
For whereas there is among you envying and strife
That's all I
and
wanted
the
on that. So that's all I wanted on that. But he was telling the church they could not understand the meat. He couldn't even give the meat. He had to give them milk, for they were carnal and they could not receive it. All right. So, like I said, it's not to your detriment. Hey, we here to build. All right. So what's your next question, bro?
My next question is, okay, so since you said it's not literal, what is the bread and what is the
Say it again.
Read it for him again. Matthew
what
26,
what is
26.
what? No, I didn't say what it symbolizes. I'm saying you say he was at the Last Supper, so you saying they fit sitting at a physical table. That's what you're saying, and they
Yes,
got food on the
they are
table.
at a physical table. We're going to read it for you again. Matthew
So
26,
so
26.
so so what was inside the cup? That's what I'm asking. What you saying it was a literal cup?
They drank wine. Christ drank wine. The scriptures tell you he drank wine. It was
Okay,
symbolic to his blood.
okay.
Read it
So
again
now,
for him.
so did he
Matthew
say
Read
chapter
it
did he
again for
say it
him.
was
26,
Read
wine?
it.
26.
He didn't say it was wine.
Matthew 26, 26. And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is my body.
So the
And
bread was symbolic to his body. He didn't break his body and broke it. As he ate, he gave them the bread and said, "This is my body." Read on.
and he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament,
So he did not give them physical blood from his veins. He said that their drink was symbolic to his blood. Read on.
which is shed for many
Because his blood was going to be spilled when he died on the cross. For what?
for the remission of sins.
Because under the old covenant, when we committed sin, we would sacrifice an animal. So there will be no more old covenant animal sacrifice. A new covenant was made with his blood for remission of sin. Read on.
But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine
There it is again. That's what there was inside the cup. Read on.
until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom.
He said, I'm going to see you in the kingdom in the future. I'm going to die for you now, but I will be resurrected and I will see you in the future. So I hope that helps you. We're going to move on.
John chapter 6 verse 54. You break because I'm wondering like, okay, so if I eat a piece of bread, even though Jesus ain't give
We're
it
going to
to me,
move
or
on.
Yahweh Shai
We're going to
or
move on.
Christ, what?
Let's move on to the next person.
All right, go ahead, Ryan.